What you're looking at right now is my first NAS, NAS 1, my primary NAS, I guess you could say, although I don't use it on a very heavy basis. It stores all of my OS installers and program install files and all that other stuff, as well as some other things. It's basically used as all-purpose storage, but not for backups. Anyway, in my last video I replaced the primary RAID array and the backup drive with 250 gigabyte drives, but I did not do one thing that I said I was going to do. If we go over here, this is the web administration interface. You can see here it's actually heavily loaded right now because I'm running an rsync run to back up basically everything from storage to backup. So that's going to run. That's probably actually going to take quite a while. Maybe I should have waited to do that, but oh well. I'll have to let it run now. I don't really have much of a choice. If we go to our disk status here, one of the smart information for that drive, the Quantum Fireball CR 6.4 gig drive is being used as the boot hard drive in this particular machine. It's a really low capacity screamer, but it was going to be okay for this because you don't really need a high capacity drive to do booting. But the drive I picked is not in the best of health, and it doesn't have temperature monitoring. Well, it took it a couple minutes, but it has actually brought it up, and as it turns out, this drive is in better health than I thought. I thought it had reallocated sectors, but it looks like it does not. So, now there is one thing. Anyway, I'm going to replace it anyway because I'm tired of listening to that screaming hard drive. You probably can't hear it right now, but I can certainly hear it. It's very loud, high-pitched. And I don't think that running this old hard drive in this thing is really such a good idea. Anyway, plus, if I put an 80 gigabyte drive in there, I'll have an additional however much amount of storage that I'll have. But before I can do any of this, I'll have to let it finish its rsync run. I'm going to have to burn a new Sigma NAS CD because I've only got a NAS for free disk, and that's rather outdated now. I'd rather get a new Sigma NAS installer, put that on a CD or a DVD, and be done with it. I don't think that actually has a CD-ROM drive in it. It used to. That might be a problem. I might have to put a DVD drive in there on a temporary basis. But nevertheless, I'll get all that started, and I will come back in just a few seconds, thanks to the magic of video editing, or actually more like videotape. I was looking at the logs, and I see something I don't like at all. Go ahead and have a look here. There are write errors going on coming off of my RAID card. So that means one of my drives has gone bad, more than likely. Yeah, it's still coming in. Channel 00. It's DA1, so that's the backup drive. Of course, it figures. That's the JBOD drives. That's the only drive that's on that array. So if it goes bad, there ain't no backup. It is still working, though. The system is still running. It is still transferring data. So it's probably a total waste of time to do this. I may pull it out anyway and have a look. In fact, I'm probably just going to shut the system off, and we'll just get started with this. Okay, so I pulled the side panel off because that's actually not too difficult of a proposition. At least it wouldn't be if one of the thumb screws decided it wasn't going to be stupid. See if I could hear anything in here that's abnormal. I can't really hear much over the CPU fan. Do not try this at home, kids. No, I don't really hear anything. Of course, I think it's this drive up here with the orange cable. And maybe that cable's bad. I know this one over here is halfway out of the slot, but I don't think that's channel 0. Of course, I can't tell which one is which, because the printing is on the other side of the card, which is not visible. So I'm going to have to pull this whole thing out and have a look at that if I want to figure that out. I'm pretty sure it's this drive up here, though. The one that's on its own. The ones that are down here on the RAID. Or one's a spare and the two are on the RAID. I don't remember which one's which, though. I don't suppose it really matters. The drive I want to pull out, turn on the camcorder light, is the one that's in and up with all that mess. So, well, I'm going to let it finish its run. I don't know if there's anything wrong with the drive. I suppose if there is something wrong with the drive, I'm going to have to pull it out and replace it. And I only have one extra drive, which really is kind of unfortunate. I thought I had a few more than that, but of course, then again, I don't have any extra of the 80s, so it's at least a little bit better than that. It just means I'm going to have to probably accelerate my plans to put a different drive in there, maybe buy more 500s or something. At least with the brand new drives, I'll know that they're guaranteed to work. Whereas with these, I don't really know. Put these all in something else. Anyway, I gotta let that finish. Of course, if I change that drive, it means I'm gonna have to run that rsync run all over again, so it'd kind of be a waste of time. I might see if I could get the onboard RAID working, or the onboard VIA serial ports down there working, or see if I can find some other serial ATA ports on this board. I don't think it's got any more, though. I think it's only got the 2 IDE channels. And of course, it doesn't have an optical drive installed, doggone it. I'm going to have to put one in there so I can load it. I could do USB. I was originally going to do USB, but I don't know if this thing will USB boot. This board has enough problems as it is. So, now we'll see. Okay, we could see that our transfer has concluded. Load averages are back down to normal. Come on. You have no CPU usage. So I can go ahead and shut this down in an orderly fashion and get the system ready to go. Come out of here. So we'll go to shutdown. Actually, hold on just a second. Before I do that, I'm going to back up the configuration. No encryption. Even though I should be encrypting it. Go ahead and download it. Save it. We'll put it there. So that way I now have an up-to-date configuration, and then we'll go ahead and shut the system off. Just like that. I wonder if I'll be able to see it shutting down. Certainly be able to hear it. I can see the fans. Here go the hard drives. Here we go. It's got a lot quieter in here. That bottom fan still looks like it's spinning. It was. Wow. Okay, so feels like it was just yesterday when I pulled this apart the last time. Pull down the front panel. At least I don't have to take all the drives out this time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this stupid metal thing out. These are usually supposed to bend them until they break. Might take a little bit of doing. Probably be easier if it didn't have that other drive in here. So I want to break that other drive. There we go. At least I got one. Come on. Break, you stupid thing. There we go. That would be a little sharp edges there, but whatever. I'll survive. Now what I'm going to do, since I need to pull this out anyway, since this has the boot drive in it, I need to unplug it. And unfortunately you won't be able to see me doing that, because I can't get this tripod over here, so we'll pull that out. I'll pull the ribbon cable out. Is that one of those ridiculous? Yeah, it's one of those ridiculous 80 conductor cables. I hate those, but I don't have enough of the 40s to replace it. I'm not gonna have to go digging in my collection of 40s. All right, so we'll pull this out, and I'm going to adjust. Can I adjust this? Is that already adjusted as far as it's going to go? It's already adjusted as far as it's going to go, so I don't really have a choice. I'm going to have to... crap. Well, let me see if I've got another 5 1/4 inch adapter. Should have another one in my collection. I know I've got one that's hooked up to that. What was that thing? That zip drive. I'll see if that one's going to be any better for this. Okay, coming back here for just a second. I'm officially a dork. As it turns out, I could just do that, and it would actually work. It would fit behind one of these face plates. So, that works in my favor. Which means I can have a permanent optical drive in here. I don't have to worry about pulling one of these out and losing it, because these tend to be difficult to find at the best of times, and sometimes I find that they don't even fit in cases other than the ones that they came out of. So now I got to pull that all out so I can pull out the screws that are in this drive, and I think they're Torx screws too, so that's kind of irritating, but oh well, what you gonna do? Really wish these things had a different design. I think you could put screws in the bottom. Well, actually no, not really. Not on this one anyway. But I guess you could if you really felt like it. The battery on my camera is about ready to die, so I'm probably gonna have to charge this up. That's gonna be real fun. Well, once again, the stars are aligning, it looks like, because I thought I was going to have a problem. You see, apparently, I thought that I didn't have enough of these little rails, but as it turns out, I pulled that drive out and had a look. I have 2 more. So I actually have enough rails. All the rails for this case are here, which is more than I can say for all the hard drive bays. But that's good, because it means I don't have to do something as heinous as mounting this with just one of the rails in place. Unfortunately, I do need to find screws. But I don't think that's going to be too bad, because I think... yeah, these should be fine thread screws, and I got more than enough fine thread screws, so let me find 4 of those and we'll continue on with this mess. Okay, testing out the fit. Looks really nice. Unfortunately, it's not matched or anything like that, but I don't think there's much I can do about that. I looked through my collection and didn't even find any extra 5 1/4 inch CD-ROM drives. Not that there is any other kind of CD-ROM drive, but I didn't find any with a black faceplate and an IDE connection, and I don't have access to serial ATA on this board, so... well, there's that. I was going to experiment a little bit and try and put the one drive back on the board. Maybe I will, just for a second, and see if it will work, if I can get it to work. But I'm not going to keep my hopes up, so I got to put in the other rail, and then I'll be done with it. Unfortunately, my collection of fine thread screws is apparently rather lacking, so all 4 screws for the drive are mismatched. Oh, that's kind of annoying, because people are going to see that. Well, they won't really, but I don't like it when it's like that. The other thing that I mentioned, speaking of screws, the hard drive that I pulled out was using Torx screws. I hate those things. I pulled all those things out and I got some drive screws for that. Those are all matched because I have quite a few coarse thread. I have the opposite problem at work. Can't find any of the coarse thread and got way too many of the fine thread. Maybe I should do a collection swap. But anyway, I gotta stop yanking and get this ready to go. It's already almost 4:30. Wow. This is taking longer than I thought it was going to. Alright. Fits in there like a glove. Just the way it's supposed to. Looks like it's getting caught on something now. Probably because that lower thing isn't installed properly. Doggone it, I had to pull that out and fix it. Yep, I'm an idiot. I put it in the wrong ones. Of course I did. I always do that. I did that before. Hope I'm taking the right one off. Yeah, I'm taking the right one off. Okay, so now you're getting to see this in action. It's really kind of a pain try and get this working. Because you gotta be really careful. I'm not gonna tighten it all the way, so that way I can put these screws in properly. Alright, so that should be good. Then I can put this in place, and then I can get ready to install the operating system. I still haven't burned my disk. I've had this disk sitting up here. I've got the system all ready to go, and I just haven't done it. So this is a fairly easy, quick release setup. Well, not really. It still requires all those stupid screws, but that's better. Fits in there nicely. Okay, let me get this disk ready to go, and I'll cable all these things up, and we'll get ready to go for all this mess. Okay, you might be able to hear my disk over there in the background. I'm going to hook this thing up. And, let's see, this is the new cable. And the old cable is buried underneath all this mess. I'm going to have to bring that out, so that way I can actually get to it. Cable management. Definitely one of my strong points, as you can very clearly see. Well, it keeps the mess tidied down, doesn't it? Yeah, this is another one of these flimsy 80 conductor cables. I hate these things. They don't work at the best of times. But anyway, so if I was smart about this, I would have hooked these cables up the other way around. But of course, this board is set up this way. I don't really have much of a choice. I am going to change the power connector around on that one SATA hard drive, just to make sure it's not the power connector that's causing me grief. I think this cable might be loose. Not the power, but the actual hard drive connector. That's kind of irritating, honestly. Yeah, this power supply is completely backwards. And it comes down to actually hooking up these connections. Very annoying. I just pulled the cable right off. I should probably get a better cable. At least I know that's plugged in. Come on. Okay, there we go. So now it's plugged in. All nice and snug. Alright, so I'm going to thread this underneath all this junk, so that I can actually get to it. Hoping I'm not going to bump this fan or anything else out of the way. This is not really terrifically interesting, and I think my camcorder is going to die here in a second. Oh, that drive is not jumpered properly. Crap. Wish I'd noticed that beforehand. It's a single device, so I'm going to just pull the jumper right out. It's jumpered for slave. It's the only device on that channel. So I'll just pull the jumper out. I'll use that for something else. If it really needs it, I'll jumper it to master. Because I had it set up that way previously. Because I used to have two drives on that channel, the boot drive and this one. Because only a backup drive, I didn't care if it slowed it down or anything like that. Now I gotta figure out power delivery for this. Oh boy. Okay. Well, I got this wire. Now I'm going to use this one. So, this power connector goes to the CD-ROM. And this power connector way down here is going to go to the hard drive. There. Done. Didn't even mess up my cable management. Okay, I'm going to boot this up, make sure everything's set up correctly. Alright, we are ready for power. Flip the switch on. See what the system does. Now that thing's loud. Well, I don't have anything hooked up well. Push delete. Better setup. Okay, something tells me that's not working. Shouldn't be taking that long. Nope, not working. Alright, so I'm going to have to put that back on the regular controller. What a mess. Alright, so we're now ready, just about. Camera is going wildly in and out of focus, like it always does. Should be just about ready to go here. So I'll hit the power on the back. Wherever that is, there it is. It'll come on. Wish I could replace that stupid fan. It really drives me nuts. Hit delete. Didn't even acknowledge that I hit delete. What the hell? Is the keyboard even plugged in? Yeah, the keyboard's plugged in. It's ignoring it silently. That's glorious. What a piece of trash. Leave it to Asus to do that. There we go. Piece of junk. Put me in the BIOS. Come on. Oh, what's the RAID card? Let's go. Hurry up. I actually put this in the CD-ROM, which does work. Came out of the Macintosh. Are you kidding me? Well, it did work. Now apparently it's not working. Stupid LG optical drive. Oh, what a disaster. I don't know what's wrong with these LG drives. They all are like this. If you put them away for 5 seconds, they stop working. So I'm going to have to figure out how to eject that. Okay, I'm going to have to use this stupid emergency eject hole in this optical drive. Just to get it open. What a mess. Does it actually have one? Yeah, there it is. Wow, that's really stuck. Here we go. Where's my disc? It seems to... There it is. Put that disc in place. Oh, now you eject, you stupid piece of garbage. Of course it does. Alright. Come on, camera light, turn off. Let's come over here. Western Digital. HLDTST, good enough. That's not going to stay in there, that optical drive. I am going to be putting in a regular DVD-ROM drive, or even a CD-ROM if I can find it. Because I have no reason to have a DVD burner in here. Alright, boot priority. Secondary master first, before the primary master. Exit saving changes. Actually, do we have a hardware monitor? Kind of interested to look at it. Okay, CPU temperature 37, that's not bad. The chassis fan just plugs straight into the power supply. It doesn't have any monitoring or anything like that. Q fan control. I wonder if maybe I should turn that on. I can't do any setting on it, so... Maybe it'll slow the fan down a little bit. So, go ahead and exit and save. I don't think it will. I think it'll just run full tilt all the time. Piece of junk. Oh, I was going to disable that stupid VIA piece of trash if it's not going to work. Oh well, whatever. Too late. So hopefully that optical drive actually works. Of course, knowing my luck, it doesn't. Now it's reading. Booting from CD-ROM. Don't really care, just boot. FreeBSD bootstrapper. It's been a long time since I've actually installed this from scratch. So I hope it's going to work. That would be very nice. Put these screws out of the way so I can sit down, at least for a little bit, while it slowly loads stuff off of that optical drive. Like I said, I don't trust this thing to boot from USB. Since it's an Asus motherboard, and a scrapped Asus motherboard that's got all kinds of problems, as you can see. Eventually, at some time down the road, if I actually find a decent full ATX board, or maybe I'll just buy a brand new one and buy some cheap hardware and put it in here and get some brand new stuff going. Certainly have a quieter fan in it. Because that's the fan that makes all the noise, that and the power supply. Okay, this is really slow. I'm going to wait. I'll come back when this is finished. I'm ready to continue. Okay, install upgrade from live CD, live USB. That's what I want. Enter. Install embedded on blah. That's usually what I would like. Install, let's see, OS GPT. Good enough. EFI, blah. I don't have EFI. Let's use GPT. Select CD drive. Alright, media where it should be installed, ADA0. Yes, it's only 80 gigabyte drive there. Enter. Minimum 2048, sure. Size of the swap, minimum 512, recommended 1024, good enough. Probably should make it. My CPU fan just turned off. Interesting. That must be the Q fan control. Probably doesn't even work. The Q fan control probably doesn't work on this board. Doesn't matter. Hopefully it doesn't overheat. Okay, so we'll put in the recommended size. Enter all to take what's available. Good enough. Alright. So now, I don't have any lights. That kind of sucks. So, hopefully it's working properly. The skipped one, the two skipped ones, I think, are the boot and the other thing. I don't remember the swap. My disk is spinning, so I guess it's copying binaries over. This video has gone on far longer than I was hoping it would have. There we go. There we go. The data partition has already been formatted as part of the installation. Well, thank you for telling me. If only you can actually spell. Anyway, so that should be done. Exits. I'm going to pull the disk out of the drive. I hope it's going to eject. I wonder if I have to do that, or if I could get away with not. But I'm going to eject it. Then I'm going to select 7 to reboot the server. Yes. I want to reboot. I'm going to find my Ethernet cable. Yep, there comes the CPU fan again. Holy crap. Okay, let's plug in Ethernet. Where is Ethernet? I want Ethernet. There it is. And it'll be gigabit. Not that it'll matter, because I'm not transferring anything to it, and I'm sliding the camera all over the place, because this tripod is a piece of trash. Wow, this thing's garbage. What the hell? Okay. Please boot. I would appreciate it. There we go. So there we go, now I'll have an additional 80 gigabytes of storage. You just let it start, let it watch, or watch it starting up. Not that you'll be able to see anything. I think I used the embedded before, if I remember right. Can't remember. So it was just the recommended, and I used GPT. For an 80 gigabyte disk, it really doesn't matter. GPT is usually for large drives or lots of partitions. I think there's a limit to the number of partitions you can have in a master boot record setup. I can't remember. Okay, link state changed to down. Oh boy, never came up. By the way, yeah, it's not getting an address, so I'm going to have to configure network IP addresses before I can actually do this. So we'll let it configure that. IP address has been set to blah. You can access WebGUI at blah. Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, we're back over here with the configuration. Normally I'd screen record this, but what's the point? So we'll back up and restore. Restore. Don't need a decryption password. We'll grab our most recent one. Restore configuration. And the server will reboot, which it is doing. CPU fan will go nuts. I think it'll be nice not having that stupid, ridiculous CPU fan on like that. It would be very nice. So I'm going to let that start up and then I'll come back. Alright, back over here, we can see it is now configured as it was before. So, this part of the video is done. Unfortunately, like I said, I'm going to have to have a part 3 because I want to change that power supply to a better power supply, one that's actually going to have the requisite number of serial ATA connectors. I'm trying to think. Yeah, 4 serial ATA connectors. So I'm going to have to use that big, bulky 500 watt power supply with all that unused wiring on it. Although I don't know if the 80 plus that I have sitting around is going to be much better, but nevertheless, you can see it's working just fine. I think I actually had it configured for 2 gigabytes of swap space before, because now it's down to 1 gig. Oh well, whatever. I don't recognize that number. Never really uses the swap anyway. Of course, now that I've done all this work, there's dust flying all over the place. It's triggering my allergies big time. Holy crap. Alright, so the disk usage is pretty well identical. The mount point should be pretty well identical. I might make another one, probably will, for the extra data. User looks like it's there as it should be. Go to services. Sandbar looks like it's configured properly. Share is there. And all that. Alright, so if I go over here to computer, and I go to NAS 1, can I actually connect to it? This probably won't work. Just watch. There it is. Alright, so everything's there. I should be able to write to it. Open up a text document. Taking some random gibberish. Close it. Save it. There it is. Delete it. Get out of here. Done. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this part of the video. Stay tuned for part 3. I'm going to change the floppy drive, change the power supply, change the optical drive, and see what the deal is with that one hard drive. So, thank you for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And this is CP666 signing off, and I hope to see you next time. Till then.